Hello and welcome to Tools Are Tools. I'm your host, Andrew Palmer. Tools Are Tools podcast is powered by Elegant Marketplace, the premier independent WordPress marketplace. I'd like to welcome you to today's guest, Dan Cameron, the developer of Sprout Invoices. Hi, Dan. How are you doing?
Hey, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing this podcast, actually. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And meeting people that I've kind of met and just having a chance to get on with things. What are you doing these days apart from doing a podcast?
Parenting to the extreme, meaning that, with the kids at home all day long, we get to parent a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we appreciate teachers now.
Yes, my wife's doing great at creating lesson plans and whatnot. We have a fifth grader, and our school district still hasn't given enough schoolwork for our kids. So
sure.
I have a high schooler as well, but she's getting plenty of work from the school district. So
you developed Sprout Invoices. How did that come about?
Oh, okay. So, man, I don't know how long of a story you want to make this, but about in 2014, I believe, maybe I'm getting this year wrong, but anyways, a long time ago, I was at a fork in the road where I was deciding whether to go to back to services, or create my own product. At that time, I was working on a product for a customer that lasted over 4 years.
Wow.
And so I had the familiarity to develop, support, and a little bit of market WordPress Pro product. So I decided to just go that route. And it was a long process. It took about 3 or 4 months to develop, to the point where I wanted to release it. And then it took about a year before I was able to actually make it a lifestyle business. I sunk a lot of money into it that first year.
Sure.
Because I poured all my time into developing and supporting it, whereas I could have made it like a side hustle. I decided not to do that. And I don't know exactly if it was the right thing to do, but it definitely worked out. So,
that kind of tells you it's the right thing to do. You know, I had a very similar journey with Elegant Marketplace, and 16-hour days and not taking any money out of it, and then carrying on, trying to carry on my own UK business development business and things like that. And it worked out, and we've both gone a similar journey with our businesses and products. We were approached by Web Ventures, and now Web Ventures and InMotion own Elegant Marketplace and Sprout Invoices, and we're lucky enough to be able to sell Sprout Invoices on Elegant Marketplace as well. But what I really want to get into is, why did you develop this? Did you spot that little niche in the market and say maybe WordPress developers need something that is built into their WordPress websites, or is it for general customer use? What do you reckon?
Oh, okay. So that's good. During this process, when I was trying to figure out what product to build, a friend of mine suggested that I build, or he said that he wanted to build a suite of business-related plugins for WordPress owners, small agencies, whatnot. And he suggested actually an invoicing product. At that time, I was really familiar with e-commerce and whatnot. So I felt like it was a good opportunity to do, as well as I was not happy with the products that I was currently using. At the time, I was using Harvest. Before that, I used FreshBooks. And I felt like there was a need for a better workflow process. So that's primarily why I did it. I did it for, on one hand, to, I thought there was a business out there so I can make some money for my family and myself. Well, I'm part of my family too, but also I made it because I was trying to figure out, or trying to create a solution that would better serve me. And if it better served me than I felt like it could serve a lot more people, small businesses, agencies, people familiar with like, not familiar, but in the freelance business.
Sure.
So,
Sure. And this is a story that I hear all the time. Beaver Builder, for instance, they're a web agency. They built Beaver Builder for their own use. Elementor,
mm-hmm.
a web agency, built Elementor for their own use. And then all of a sudden, because they've kind of made a product that is kind of right, then they launch, then all of a sudden it goes out there and you're selling thousands of these products. And then you're coming across other aspects of actually launching a product. Your product may be pretty much perfect and it works in most instances. And then you start a kind of a support thing. So you have to you have to pivot almost from being a developer to being an expert support person. And you've done that as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, so while there are a lot of similarities, I don't want to say that I created Sprout Invoices for my own personal use. I did create it to build a business. A good example of what you're talking about is WP Help Scout.
Sure.
Or sorry, that's the domain, but the product is Help Scout Desk. I created that product for Sprout Invoices specifically to help me support, and that was one thing that I just like put it out there and figured out that I had to support it. But my process was a little bit different. My process was primarily to build a product business and with experience on that certain that certain product. So I had a little bit of both in it, but yeah,
it worked out. And what I love about Sprout is, well, I've used Sprout, so when I found out that we were listing it on Elegant Marketplace, I was pretty damn pleased because it should be out there. It should be, there's a lot of people that don't know about this product, and now we can, let thousands of people know about Sprout Invoices, and it's great. It's selling and it's doing well. What I love is the fox and the little story behind the fox and everything. Do you want to just tell everyone how you came about with Mr. Sprout? I call him, but it's an unusual name for a business, Sprout Invoices, and then you've got a fox as well, so it's even weirder to be honest.
So my services business was, or still is actually, Sprout Venture. So when I started Sprout Invoices, I just, I went off the theme of Sprout, and I thought that, sprouting invoices, like, it works. So
sure.
I didn't come up with the mascot of Sprout until late 2018. So he's sort of new. And I came about creating him because I was in a state of like fatigue and boredom with the product or the project. So I created some goals in late 2018, and part of that was improving my brand, and that included creating like a mascot of sorts. I just went to Fiverr and found a good artist that I liked and reached out to him and hired him through there. It was probably one of the most memorable experiences over the last 6 years because it was so easy and it was so fun creating that character, as well as like writing his bio and all that stuff. I had a really good like 3-4 months of just like a lot of fun creativity, which was good because it's like prior to that, my creativity would come out in development, and right around 2018, I was like stalling out on not developing a lot. So creating that character was a really good thing, personally and professionally. And
and it's a diversion, isn't it? Away from the, like you say, you getting bored with the product, and you're getting, and it's hard for people to understand why you would get bored with the product because, you built it up to a certain level, and that's the level that it's got to stay at because it actually works. So you don't want to like do too many add-ons, and you've got add-ons with it. We've got bundled add-ons with it, and you've got third-party integrations with, you've got a few zaps that you can put in there, and it's a great product. But at the end of the day, we work to have, I work to live, not live to work, and I've always had that
Yes.
mentality. I go, my sin is going out and playing golf as often as I can. And
I like that sin. I do that too.
yeah, it's a great. I can't do it now. We're locked down, so I'm working pretty much 7 days a week because it's the only thing I can do. And my girlfriend's a nurse and everything, so she's out doing what she needs to do. So it's it's a great story to have a mascot there, and I think I actually might make it one of my challenges to get a mascot for one of my other products. I've got a few other products out there as well, like we all do, don't we? You've built Help Scout and Sprout Invoices, and I'm sure you've had ideas on other products. So that's a great story. So now that this is part of InMotion, what's the future looking like for you? What you're going to be doing?
That's a difficult question to answer. Primarily because I had a lot of goals that I wanted to do right after the sale, which was like some of them were helping my kid on his baseball team. I've been coaching for years and years, and I was really looking forward to coaching again, and that started right around this whole mess happened. So like
Sure.
he started baseball in early February, and that didn't last long. And then I was supposed to relax and just watch a lot of baseball, and I can't do that. So my other goals, like similar to yours, where you're working 7 days a week, my goals were to learn more Laravel, start a project, work at my local church a little bit more. And those three things are actually taking a lot of my time right now because I have it. So I'm digging deep on Laravel development and improving my skills for Vue.js. And I have some project ideas that I'm going to try to build out and see how it works, even if it's just like something to do to learn those.
Sure. What are you doing?
Skills.
What are you doing in Laravel? It's a particularly powerful coding situation. So what are you thinking about doing in Laravel? I'm always interested because it's another scale as far as I'm concerned. It's another level.
Yeah. At this point, I would say that it's an awesome project to build a SaaS. And if you wanted to build a SaaS, I would be mixed to recommend WordPress over Laravel. And that goes to show that I've had like 15 years of WordPress development experience, maybe more than that. I'm not doing the math in my head right now, but anyways, I'm very familiar with WordPress, and I can develop pretty much anything that I wanted around it. But Laravel is super powerful, and I'm not an expert at it, so I can't really speak too much more. I don't feel comfortable anyways doing that. But if you want to build a SaaS, I would totally look into Laravel.
Sure.
And they have a bunch of projects like Spark, which helps.
Spark. I was introduced to Spark last year, actually, at St. Louis. In the there was a guy doing Chris, I think his name is. He's an English guy. He's properly into Laravel, and I've been lucky enough to meet up with him a couple of times in WP London as well, or the WP London meetup. So it's something that I'm looking at. But, currently I'm still running the Elegant Marketplace, and there's no end date to that, which is pretty cool. And I've got a couple of SaaS products out there as well to do with layouts and, saving them in the cloud and things like that. So I may be looking at, turning that into Laravel as well. Mm-hmm. But essentially, you're taking a bit of time off. So you sold the business, taking a bit of time off, developed a great product. It's gone out there. You've got thousands of customers. I mean, sales are going phenomenally well as well, which is great. And you're just having a little relaxation, I expect, aren't you? Taking a few days off.
Yeah. My main intent is to reset and just figure things out. The sale afforded me the opportunity to do that. So I'm resetting business wise, figuring out what I want to do, and resetting like mentally too. I can't say that the last 6 years have been exhausting doing Sprout Invoices. The last couple years actually have not, but the first four still linger a little bit. So it's good to, reset, rest, and relax. And at this time in our world, like, it's good that I do have the time so I can pour that into my kids and my family, and just relax a little bit. I'm a person who can't really sit still that much,
Yeah.
so I'm doing as much as I can on the side, and that's like I said, on the side right now it's Laravel and Vue. But there's also like other opportunities. So when I started this process of selling last year, my full intent was to start a local business. And I'm glad that idea subsided a bit, because I don't know how I would be doing right now starting a local business in this
Sure.
climate.
What was that? Like a brick and mortar business?
Yeah, I had a lot of terrible ideas, but the one idea that I wanted to do, I really, really wanted to do, was Brewpub, that focused around video games and board games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that business would not be around if I sold Sprout Invoices any earlier, and I had the money, and I had still had that idea that that it would be a good business. I would be in a different state right now. But
yeah, well, I know where you're going with that, because I've got an interest in a pizza restaurant in my local town, and we've obviously had to pivot and do delivery only, not even collection. So I know how business, particularly restaurant business, in my UK agency runs, I don't know, 20 websites for restaurants, and I've had to help them sign up to Deliveroo and Uber Eats and all that kind of stuff to make sure that they're at least turning over some money. So yeah, this COVID-19 situation has caused a lot of people a lot of issues. But what I'm really pleased to hear is you sound chilled out. You sound pretty chilled. You're happy at home. You've got your kid that you're looking after. Your wife's doing a great job, and we've got the opportunity with Sprout Invoices to get it out there. And I'm really pleased. And I'm really pleased to have met you and know you, and wish you well for the future. And what I'm going to do now is just sign off. What we normally do is say, get people to how can people get in contact with you, but I know that you want to kind of be left alone, so it's
no.
Yeah. So you're on wordpress.org. Can they find you there, or Twitter?
Yeah, so the two primary places that anybody can contact me at is Twitter, so Dan Cameron is my handle there, and sproutventure.com. While I'm relaxing, I'm still trying to something I should have mentioned earlier is that I'm trying to actually get people in pre-lifestyle biz form, some product owner that's trying to get to the next level, I should say. I don't like that term, but anyways, and help them out and consult them. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge and experience in building products, so I feel like I can help somebody that's making like a few $100 to $1,000 a month make it a lifestyle business for them.
Cool.
There's cool. Like some really key things that they can do. So I'm doing a consulting for that, and you can read more about that at sproutventure.com and reach out to me there.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, supporting new businesses and supporting lifestyle businesses is in my DNA as well. So I really wish you the best of luck on that. And thank you for spending time with us today on the podcast presented by Elegant Marketplace. And thanks, Dan. Really pleased to have spoken to you, and I'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Yeah, stay healthy and safe.
And you.